On this week's podcast, I am joined by Polly Newman and writer and podcast host Tolly Shoneye. We are talking all things Bonito Bowl. I don't even know who this is. Like, I don't even speak Spanish. Like, I don't really understand what he's saying. And just like getting, you cannot help but move your hips to that. I can't let an entire podcast go by without talking about heated rivalry, but more importantly, the cultural impact that the show and its stars are having. These two young actors who are both 24 turning 25 this month. I'm that obsessed. And they are the absolute opposite of toxic masculinity. We talk shopping addictions and Tolly confesses to not doing very well with a shopping ban.
So I actively have not been shopping because I love shopping with all of my heart.
Mm-hmm. How's it going?
It's not, I mean, I bought this last week, right.
So keep watching, keep listening. It's going to be a good one. Welcome to the SheerLuxe Podcast with me, Charlotte Collins. This week, I'm joined by a very special guest. We have, I'm going to read this so we get it officially correct, writer, podcaster, presenter, Tolly Shoneye.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thrilled to have you. And I also have Polly and Tolly.
Polly and
Do you know what I did?
That's
when I
makes
saw
it
the
easy.
email, I did think that, so you have stolen the joke I was going to lead with, so thank you.
That was sorry.
Every time without fail that I mention Polly in some capacity in front of my dad, he will say, has she put the kettle on? Every single time.
Very
Yeah, or like, how's her dolly? Is she all right?
I have had 32 years of that, so where's a little thin? Not going to lie.
Well, if you want
You're the
more,
first person to say it, you're like, great.
always available.
What have you had? So yours is the Polly thing. Mine is, do you remember the song, Talani, Talani, Talani?
Oh, yeah.
So my name is Talani. So all throughout school when it first came out, and I was out the weekend and then it came on.
Sorry, is that what they're saying?
It's not what they're saying.
what are they saying?
Who knows what they're saying?
I always thought it was like,
But people sing
cool,
that to
not
you.
calling
But
me,
people
but
say
like,
Talani, but I actually don't know what they're saying. What are they
I
saying?
don't think
they
anyone
saying?
knows until they get to, with a little bit of
Luck,
luck.
we can make it through the night.
What are you both wearing today, Polly?
I'm wearing a shirt by JW Anderson and it says JW on it and it's confused a few members of the team. They're like, JW who? And I was like, you may have heard of him. Mr. Anderson.
Not Jack Wills, as
Not
Daisy
Jack
thought.
Wills. A little scarf, which is from Arquette, a brooch, which I got on eBay, jeans from May Goldie, loafers from Arquette, socks from Pears.
Nice.
And that's my lot.
Got a very bright red coat on from Naked.
Love it.
Which I'm really into.
Bringing us the sunshine.
Yes, a little vest up from Skims, Jaded London, and these boots are from River Island, and I've honestly had them for about 12 years now.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, and I just wear them out all the time, and they're so comfortable, and they're like you're walking
they?
around London boots.
Also,
I'm so inspired by that because I could never walk around like
You
London in
definitely
boots
can.
like
They're
that
so
high.
comfortable.
they're also remarkably unscuffed for suede
Yeah.
boots.
But
for
Yeah,
about
yeah,
12
I know.
years.
Thanks.
look after them.
You like to keep things well. I do. Like when I want something, I'd want it for ages, and I'd be like, I'm going to keep this like it's gold.
I love that.
Yeah.
Even for, well, I say even for high street pieces, but it's good.
Even
that,
for, basically, yeah.
I don't know if I said this before, but I got this jumper for my brother for Christmas and then just changed my mind and kept it. So if you're watching, sorry, it's M&S men's cashmere. These are Old Banana Republic. I've got a Chloe belt on. Socks are Pears as well, but I've got the cozy ones on today.
They're so
which are
nice.
so
They're
cozy.
socks. Best.
The June flats. And what else? Oh, these.
Cool glasses.
I like those,
Cool
yeah.
glasses, aren't they? These are Vara Optical, and they're getting a lot of love in the office today.
Do you actually need glasses?
I do, but I'm wearing lenses, and these are.
Oh my God, I did that the other day. So
Right?
I need glasses, but I wanted a really nice pair of glasses that weren't like for seeing. So I just put my contacts in and then wore the cool glasses.
We were
Yeah,
joking. We
quite
were
an
talking about in the
outfit.
office the other day. If I wear my like seeing glasses,
Yeah.
it gives me such an ick. Like I just don't look cool. But if I wear my lenses and then some fake glasses, I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a vibe.
I do like those. I'm going to get them again.
Yeah, they're cool,
they're
aren't
really,
they?
really nice. Yeah,
Yeah, they
really
look
good.
Okay, thank you so much. We are going to start with things we're loving, ladies.
Okay.
What are you loving, Polly? Let's talk about your nails.
Okay, so I am a recovering Biab gel addict.
Right, okay.
Okay, I was like a back-to-back girly. And I just was like finding myself going for like really natural colours anyway. And I quite like a nudie short square mani. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have a break, which is very unlike me.
Yeah.
And I tried this thing called an IBX manicure. And it's a treatment that you go to a salon for. They still do all the prep and your like cuticles and stuff, which is like my favourite part anyway. But then they paint this like treatment on, which basically like penetrates your actual nail, fuses the top layers together to stop your nails like flaking and breaking, which is like obviously common if you're a gel nail girly. And I had this done and I absolutely love it. Like my nails were in a bad way, obviously from like years of back-to-back manicures, and I'm loving the results. That's from like one one treatment.
And do they feel hard? Because there's
They
nothing worse than
feel-
when they feel really soft.
Yeah, like I hate that feeling. Like, you
And
know,
you can feel your nail like bending back.
yeah,
a
like
bit,
even in
'cause
like
it's
the
just- yeah, it's
shower and
horrible,
stuff.
yeah.
But like, no, they feel so much better. They like the manicurist was like, look, feel your nails, they feel fluffy. And I was like, what? And then I actually know what she means. They're like so soft and it's lasted really well. I think I'm going to continue with it. Maybe just try and be a bit more like, get my nails like painted.
Yeah.
Occasionally for like a special occasion rather than trying to do, because I'm just partly a bit done with the like rigmarole of getting them done every
I
like
hate getting my nails
it's
done.
long, isn't
Oh
it?
my God, I find it so boring. Everyone's like, oh, you need to find the right nail tech. And I was like, no, it's not that. I'm just
No, and
bored.
it's just like
yeah.
finding the
admin.
time as well to like book an appointment, and if like one chips, it just does my head in. And I just think if you're looking for a little break and a solution in between, it's so good.
Is it a treatment that you can repeat, or do you
Yeah.
just have it right?
Yeah,
just
so
have
you
it
can
once?
like, I mean, I guess it defeats the object if you're looking for like
Yeah.
to not get your nails done. But I think, you know, TBC, I had this done like a week ago. It's lasted really well so far. We'll see how long it goes.
Yeah.
But maybe something I can get done like once a month if I want to, or just like maintain myself by doing my own cuticles and then just getting it done every like couple of months or something. Like jury's out, but so far so good. I'm really impressed.
I'm a Biab girl. These are my own
Which is
nails,
amazing. Which is
good.
And they are like rock solid.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't really know what's going on under there, but like frankly, not my business.
I don't care about my nail health.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I don't care. I really don't care about my nail
I think
health.
that's fair. I was kind of like, you know what? I'm back to backing. Who cares? But like,
There's so many things you have to care about our health, and my nails are just not one of them. I don't care.
I am like that with my salt intake. Honestly,
Right,
there is so much to
okay.
worry about. Also, the rules change
Everything changes.
Remember when we were growing up that it was all about like low calorie?
They literally used to give us milk to drink, and now it's don't drink milk.
Yeah, the idea of drinking. I reckon you could drink straight up milk.
oh yeah, for sure. What makes you think that about
I
me?
haven't drank milk in
know
ages.
that. I just know you well enough. I know.
What, you could drink a glass of full
She
fat
absolutely
milk?
could.
Yeah, man, I like milk. like I am quite
you?
weird with like some foods, but
I've
like
seen her shot her best friend's breast milk, so I knew that she'd be all right with it.
I tried breast milk. I tried my sister's breast milk. I
you?
was
It was
so
nice.
fascinated to see what it tasted like.
Yeah, like,
it
why
doesn't
wouldn't
taste
you
like
try
milk. It's like
it?
just like I like.
it's sweet, man.
It tastes like.
that.
Do you know what I mean, man?
I didn't
Like,
hate
It's like
it.
nothingy.
I'd rather have a shot of someone's breast milk than
a cow's milk?
than a whole glass of cow's
What?
milk.
But
I drink cow's milk in
really?
coffee
But like just a glass
Just
of
just
on
to
it
go
on
its
its
own.
own.
to straight up. No,
So
on the rocks.
fascinating.
Oh, I
Yeah,
could actually gag just thinking about it. Anyway, listen, milk, good for your nails. So
That's
that's
full
a full circle
circle.
chat.
Okay.
Did you want to give a shout out to Giddy Prints? Because I saw this and I was really thrilled because I love them too.
Yeah, so I came up on a targeted ad, which I love, and I have been looking for some like nice art for my house that doesn't cost the earth. And they do sort of framed art, like vintage inspired prints. So I bought this Zodiac one, and everything comes framed, and they've framed it all really beautifully in some lovely colours. And this was maybe like 150 quid, which in the art space is
decent,
like
yeah.
very decent, I would say. And they're all framed in London, and I think it's just a really nice accessible price point. The pieces are really cute. So yeah, if you're looking for some affordable artwork, that's a great place. Giddy Prints.
I keep being served on social all these like cool ways of framing, and I don't have the sort of creative time or knowledge to like do it in like a really artistic creative way, but they
do it for
that.
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
that's
they- yeah.
cool.
That's the reason I was like, oh, it's got a frame already. Like, because I find, like, I know it's so lazy, but just like buying the art and then thinking, oh,
Yeah,
but
let's
what,
get
the
this frame
frame,
now,
like
yeah.
that's going to cost X amount
Exactly.
more. So I think even better value that you get the print and the frame at the same
Agreed.
time.
They very kindly actually sent me a really sweet. It's almost like slightly larger than a postage stamp of a beagle.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
beagle framed on a pink
Mount.
paper. Mount. Thank you. Pink paper. What's that thing? I'm so digital. Framed on pink paper, and then with a really gorgeous little border as well.
Yeah,
and
so
it actually,
sweet.
it makes me smile every time I
That's
look at it.
cute. I've been in my home for 5 years, right? And I just about 2 years ago, just put artwork in my living room because I could not decide. I didn't want to commit to anything, but I haven't put anything in my bedroom yet because I just cannot figure out what I want.
Very hard.
It's so hard.
You should do what I do. This is not an ad. I pay for this company called Interrupted Art,
yeah, I've heard of
which is
them.
art rental. It's £66 a month, and they have a huge roster of different artists. You know, they come from the art world, so it's a very kind of highly curated edit of artists. And talk to them. You send them photos of the space. You show them the rest of your interiors, your taste, your style.
vibe.
And then every 10 weeks, they send you a couple of options, tell you a bit about the artist, and like they're all kind of framed differently or mounted differently or whatever. And then they come and deliver it to you, and it stays there for.
That's amazing.
Until they.
that's fun.
It's great.
Could you buy it at the end if you decide you like it?
You can.
Oh,
It's on
that's
sale.
so good.
It's honestly so good. I've been doing it for 2 years now, and I've got this one blank wall in my kitchen, and it just rotates, and
That's
it's
so
so nice.
nice.
Oh, that is really nice, actually.
Yeah, I recommend that.
Yeah, because I find the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the commitment, I get like real commitment anxiety around like art and stuff. Because like often it is quite expensive. And
Yeah.
like, is it going to work in the space? That's a really nice option.
Yeah, I really recommend it. Okay, Tolly, things you're loving. You've said your new food shopping technique.
Right.
Desperate to know what this means.
Okay, so it's not as exciting as it sounds, but so I live alone, and a food shop is probably one of the biggest ags of my life. Although I do love going to Big Tesco.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Love
Oh
Big
my
Tesco.
God.
But especially late night.
Definitely
Oh
late night.
yeah, that's elite, isn't
Do you know,
it?
but they're not 24 hours anymore.
Oh.
Do you remember when they used, well, the
thought they
one near me
were.
shuts
Yeah.
at 12 now. It used to be 24 hours, and I would literally go there at like 1 a.m. and have the time of my life.
That was like my teenage once we all could
yeah,
drive.
yeah.
That was all we did.
Yeah.
Should go Big Tesco's.
Big
Why-
Tesco late
Why
night.
did we decide that?
There was nothing else to do.
That's what it was, isn't
Yeah,
it? We couldn't go
didn't
to the
have
club.
jobs. No.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like a
yeah.
Tuesday.
I'd go
That's
in there
fine.
and grab like popcorn and cookies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's
The
my
pick and mix.
Saturday night.
Standard pick and mix.
Yeah.
So I don't like doing a food shop because I waste so much food, like living on my own and things like that. So recently I've discovered a new way to shop, right?
Okay.
And all I do is just buy loads of veg that I like, but cut them into really tiny pieces.
Yeah, go on. This is a way to prep food, not to shop, but continue.
Really, really thin, slimy pieces.
Yeah.
And then that's the base for every meal I have for that week.
I understand that.
And it is, I am having such a good time.
Well, like,
Because
what
it
are
goes
you
with everything.
making?
It's just be like a side of like salmon and really tiny cut veg. Chicken and really tiny cut veg.
Everything tastes better when it's cut really tiny.
Yeah, it's so, trust me. I know it sounds ridiculous,
Fascinating.
but your cucumber, especially your cucumber, cut them into really, really small pieces.
Okay.
And it feels like more.
So sorry, what veg are you thinly preparing?
So red onions, cucumber,
No, I see this. Keep going. Yeah.
red peppers.
Yeah.
And I just like throwing some sweet corn for the fun of it. Because you
Okay,
can't
so
really
this
cut
is
them
like a
in tiny
salad
pieces.
situation
Yeah.
rather than like roasted
okay.
veg.
Yeah.
Have you got a mandolin to like chop it
Yeah.
for you? Okay, that makes a difference.
And that's loads of fun to do as well.
I love my mandolin.
I love it.
Yes.
I don't have a mandolin. Maybe I should. add to
Polly,
basket.
invest in a mandolin. I think they're about £4 on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it
I'll give
is
that.
game changing.
Really?
Yeah, but good piece of advice. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
thanks.
BBC
Good
World
grown
of Secrets podcast.
Oh my God, it's so good.
What
So
is it?
I am really, really into, so I was a beauty journalist for ages. Right? So I was a beauty editor at BuzzFeed for like years and then stopped writing beauty in that sense. But initially I wanted to be an investigative journalist. But when I came out of uni, like wars started and I was like, oh, hold up.
Not for
That's a bit more serious than I thought it would be. I'm going to write about lipstick. But it's always meant I am fascinated by like investigative journalism. Like when people are like, here is this cause and we're going to go like do a deep dive into it. And that's what BBC World of Secrets is. It's a podcast, right? And every season it's like a different like thing that they investigate. So the last one I listened to was called Death in Dubai. And it was about this whole like porta potties and all of that.
Porta potties.
Porta potties.
What, like where you go to the loo?
Yeah, but they use humans.
What?
Yes, it's all really dark. It's all really quite dark. And this journalist has gone into Dubai and done a big investigation about it. And she's like going undercover and like asking people like, have you seen this person? And like risking her life in a sense, like to like accuse people to be like, here's what you've been done and you've been caught out for it. And I find it so brave and so fascinating that someone would actually do that to get a story out there. Because like one of my biggest things is I think storytelling is so important.
Yeah.
Like of all stories. So someone to be like, here is this deep, dark thing that's happening. I'm going to go investigate that.
It's a real vocation, right?
Yes.
Like you don't do that unless you're
Really passionate
Really
about
passionate
it. Yeah,
about it.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
cool.
really, really good listen and would recommend it.
And there's multiple series of it.
Yeah, there's like 11 now. There's a new one that came out today, actually.
Okay, love that. I'm going to talk about another BBC adjacent thing, which is the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Have you guys been watching much?
Well, I haven't been watching, but I've been following like the Lindsey Vonn crash.
Yes.
Yeah,
a couple
poor
of people
girl.
sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like really like uncomfortable, wasn't it?
It was horrible,
I
yeah.
think like for background, she had ruptured her ACL like 10 days before or something, and then decided to compete. But apparently the crash was like nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like 60 mile an hour, which is mental.
So
like you're
fast.
skiing that fast.
So fast.
Is she
that one.
alright?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
But well, as in she's obviously
Not fine, but she's like- yeah.
she's alive. But but she's obviously one of the kind of big stars
Yeah.
of the Winter Olympics, like a kind of iconic name. So yeah. But just generally, the coverage has been amazing. And I don't know about you, when you flick on the actual Olympics,
Yeah.
you can get really lucky and watch some sports that you might enjoy. But then there's quite a lot of niche sports that maybe don't resonate with everybody.
Yeah, like the breakdancing.
No, I was just thinking that, but actually, that
of enjoyed
resonated.
it.
I did not not
That
dislike
woman was the best woman ever in the world.
You know, they've now removed that as an Olympic
Oh,
sport.
I know, how
They're like, it can be a sport. They're like, no, they can't.
Revoked.
Absolutely revoked. Or like clay pigeon shooting, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas I find with the Winter Olympics, everything is
interested.
fascinating
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everything is speed and everything is like doing a version of something that you might have tried in real life.
Right.
And so therefore you kind of feel like you know how hard it is in comparison.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
tried to like run as fast as Usain Bolt, but like I have
No.
ice skated. So like I know that those backflips
Yeah.
are something else. Or like I watched a lot of the snowboard jumping. I think it's called Big Air. And these girls are sick. Like
Yeah.
they're like 16-year-old girls upwards,
insane.
representing their countries, flying through it like so
It's
fearless.
so badass, isn't it?
It's so badass. When they show you the kind of aerial shots, they build these ski slopes
Yeah.
and they build them on like a water slide. Like they've built this huge structure and they just throw themselves off
It's mad, isn't
the
it?
top of this like fake mountain and then just spin in the air and land and it's
Yeah.
so cool.
My thing with Olympics is like, how did you know you were good at that?
I think I saw a TikTok on
great.
this. It's
How
like
do you
the niche
know?
one's like, you know, the bobsled or the
Yeah.
skeleton
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, how do you discover you're good at a sport
So
like
niche.
that? But
No
like,
idea.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
It's so
So I'm
cool.
really competitive, right? And like last year, year before, I was learning how to swim. So weird, I just didn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I started doing adult swimming lessons. It was all going great. And like, I think on my third lesson, like I did a full lap on my own. And I was like, oh my God, how long was that? And he was like 50 something seconds. And I was like, that feels really fast to me.
You're like, wait, I think I'm really good
I
at this.
literally, so I went to go Google. I was like, the fastest like Olympic thingy, and it was like 40 something seconds. I was like, oh,
do you know what?
my
Not
God!
far off.
I was like,
You've unlocked a hidden
I am
talent.
so good. Come to find out, the Olympic pool is like double the size of the
okay.
pool
Yes.
I just swam in. But I was honestly for about 5 minutes was like, what a story. At 34, I have discovered that I am actually an Olympic
Prodigy.
swimmer. Like,
Netflix
wow,
series
that's
and
literally what I
that.
thought. I was like, this is going to be amazing. But no.
Yeah, you're
it
right. I
wasn't.
think Olympic pools are quite large. Okay,
You know,
well,
I think like, I don't know if you've asked some like straight men, haven't we, in the past, like that's been in the news, like they think they could like pick a sport and
Yeah.
like just compete in it, like in the next Olympics. I asked my husband the same thing, like, what would you pick? And he picked diving. And he was like,
The confidence,
he
the
reckons he could
confidence.
like start diving now and then be at Olympic level in 4 years if like that was what, and I was like,
That's so
of all the
misplaced.
sports, he's like, it's just falling with style. I'm like, you are ridiculous.
I
Like
kinda
that is
hear
so
him.
untrue.
I kind of want women to be more like that. I want us to be more boastful, to
We
be like,
should-
yeah, if I started that now, I would
could
smash
not.
it.
Yeah,
What
I-
would you pick? I'd pick discus throwing.
discus throwing. Why? Because it's like stationary.
Yeah, and also I used to throw discus in school.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so-
I'm like, cool, 'cause you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
move.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, I kind of know the vibe
that's-
of it, and it's kind of like frisbee, isn't it?
I think I'd do like
it's
like frisbee. It kind of gives me
It's like weighted
mistrustful.
frisbee.
yeah, that's the only
That's shot put.
concern.
I'd rather do
Do you
something
know
a bit
what's a really
daintier.
sad story? That's why I stopped doing it, right?
Oh,
so
no,
I
sorry.
got really good at discus throwing in school, and I remember one time this boy was like, "Your arms are so big," and I was like, "I am never touching a discus again."
Oh, I feel like everyone
I
has one
know,
of those
it's so
stories, don't
sad,
you? It's sort of like
yeah.
a boy tells you something about your body or whatever, and then you're like, okay, cool, that's me. Like
That's
done
me.
for
Yeah,
life.
I'm
Yeah.
never doing that.
Yeah.
I'm
Never
forever
doing that
ruined.
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
What would you do?
I think I'd have to pick like, I don't know, like fencing.
Okay.
You're also not qualified to be. You and Harry need to go. No, but like fencing, I'm diving.
But like, surely, like you could learn to fence in 4 years.
I think
like,
they're very nimble.
felt
Not that
quite-
you're not.
Yeah,
but-
I was gonna say, have you ever seen
Sorry,
me
I haven't.
try
seen
to
that
I've
fence?
seen you dodge a sword. No, I haven't.
What would you
don't know, but, like,
pick?
what
Clay
would you
pigeon
pick?
shooting because that is
Oh.
just aim.
Listen, I actually have tried that and I was dog shit at
Listen,
it.
I'm
Like,
quite good at
it's-
that.
Are you?
Yeah,
Okay,
not
interesting.
quite good at aim.
Okay, I found it really hard.
But like
so
that's got to be easier than fencing. Quite
Yes, I
cool.
know.
Quite cool outfit for fencing though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
quite
Yeah.
cool. I know, like clay pigeon, you could wear your like tweed jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Little
exactly.
barn
Little
jacket.
flat cap. I see
Yeah.
that.
I'd
Yeah.
almost want to go into something that not many people do.
Yeah,
So I
you-
can
yeah,
like,
oh,
yeah, like a
100%.
niche thing, so
Yeah.
I can be a star in it.
I watched. There is a professional skater, and he is American. I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, but his name is Ilya Malinin, and I don't think it hurts that he's come out at the time that Heated Rivalry
Yeah.
has because his name is
Oh,
Ilya.
right, okay.
I feel like you should do a shot every time you mention heated rivalry from now on.
I'd be smashed
You'd be
by
so
10 a.m.
excited.
But I watched an amazing clip of Djokovic watching
Oh, yeah.
this guy,
That's
Ilya, perform on the ice. Djokovic was locked in.
Yeah.
He was, you see his reaction. He's like on his feet, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is incredible. And there's something kind of to the point about the masculine thing. There's something really cool about somebody who's such an elite sportsman, really appreciating somebody
Someone
else
else's, yeah.
really elite sporting.
Yeah.
I find athletes so amazing. I think they're better
Yeah.
humans than us. To be that
Yeah, they are.
dedicated to something since you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
What did you start doing at 12 that you still do today? Outside of breathing, I haven't picked another thing. I'm like, I've
you're so
quit
right.
everything else. But they're like, they decide when they're quite young and they just do it for so, I think it's so
know,
amazing.
I found out the other day that Yannick Sinner, who won Wimbledon last year, was a really talented skier for like a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Because he lived in a part of Italy that was, like good for skiing. And he was like amazing at that, but then decided to switch to tennis. Like, imagine being that good at like not one but two sports.
things, yeah.
Sickening, actually.
So sickening.
Yeah.
But I think that's
Really.
quite a lot of them end up being.
I don't, sports, yay.
Yeah. Polly has run a few marathons.
Have
and that
you?
is.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
I don't think
dedication.
we can't really lump me together with these elite athletes.
No, but
ran
the-
a very average marathon.
No,
just to
But
say.
the level of dedication.
That is to do, yeah.
that, like, I could never ever
suppose.
commit
But like,
myself
yeah,
to.
that sort of puts it into perspective that like I put a bit of dedication in for a few months of my year for a couple of years, and that's probably their entire life, and they have to make so many sacrifices, like socially, like professionally, and like also think about like looking after their body the whole time because it's their livelihood. It must be a really quite stressful existence.
Yeah.
So hats off to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Let's move on and talk about fashion finds. What have you
Okay.
found that you're loving, Tolly?
I'm currently not trying to shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm currently selling a bunch of my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I was like, I'm really embarrassed by my level of consumerism. I'm so bad. I
Yeah,
like
I
things
get that. I feel
so much. And I come back from holiday not too long ago and I was trying to like unpack and I was like, where did all of these things go? Like there was no space anymore. So I was like, I want to get rid of a bunch of stuff. So I actively have not been shopping because I love shopping with all of my heart. So to not do it, I genuinely feel quite sick.
How's it going?
It's not, I mean, I bought this last week, so.
so not
Really
great.
well.
But I bought it because I was like, okay, cool, you've got rid of a bunch of stuff, so you can now buy something. That's been what I've been doing.
How are you? Where are you getting rid of? What are you doing? Selling things?
I'm selling things, yeah. And I did use, I lied. I bought Hermes sandals the other day.
So right. So it's going really well.
Okay, cool, you guys go.
Polly, what are you buying?
Well, I have been buying to
Yeah.
make you feel better about your spending. I bought these loafers actually.
Where are they from?
They're from Arcare. They're
really nice.
What
Nice.
I really wanted was the YSL loafers.
Yeah, so
but
do
very
I.
expensive.
They are.
And I've been on the hunt for something that looks similar. And I
Yeah.
think these are the closest ones I found. They've got the like gyoza pinch that we were talking about.
You know, like on a gyoza.
Yeah, when I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a
pretty.
good
It's
idea.
good.
I like that,
It's
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
And look, they're out of stock at the moment, but I was like stalking them and
Yeah.
then one came back in my size. So that's what you got to do. You just got to like pounce, keep checking. They come up a bit small, so size up. But they're just really nice.
They are
They are
They're
really nice,
I'm really
yeah.
happy with them.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to wear them a lot. And I also wanted to talk about a Ganni coat that I took with me to New York
Ganni.
this weekend where it was -16. I don't like, I've never experienced cold like that.
That is crazy.
But this coat, it kept me warm, and it's not like a big puffer because there is a place for big puffers, but I wanted to feel a bit more sort of stylish, I guess. So it's a big wool coat with 2 buckly belts and big sleeves. And sometimes those wool coats like that are smart like that, they're a bit drafty, but this one not drafty, very thick, very warm. So hats off to Ganni. And I got so many compliments. Like, I go on the street, she's like, I love your jacket. And I was like,
Oh my God, I find America are the most complimentary
I
people
agree.
ever in the world. Like,
they're
it's
much
where I
nicer.
feel the most attractive. Anytime
Yeah, I
I remember,
agree.
they're like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Like, they just say it and
Yeah.
carry on with their day. And I'm like, thank you.
nice.
No one ever says that.
yeah,
I agree.
Tell me more.
I love your outfit.
Yeah, they're
like,
so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah, it made me feel good. So,
Good.
I
All right.
recommend.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Emma, sandals, do you wish to elaborate?
So I got the cipher ones. The
Yeah.
ones that you've got,
Oh,
which
okay.
I absolutely, they came yesterday and I loved. Oh, do you not? They don't know.
Well, look, I
experience.
bought them, but they were so painful.
Don't say that because I thought it would be
It
comfortable.
might just be my foot.
It has. There have been mixed reports because I
Yeah.
know that you found yours very uncomfortable, but a lot of people
Yeah.
do say they're the comfiest thing ever. So I feel like maybe it's
I
a
think
foot
maybe
thing.
it's just
Okay.
like a foot thing. Look, that just might be me.
might just be
I
your
really,
foot.
I persisted so hard because I loved them so much.
Yeah,
they
I
are
think they're
so
really
cool.
good. And they're so chunky. I love
Yeah.
a chunky sandal.
In my mind, I saw them as like a elevated Birkenstock, which because it has like a bit of arch support
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff, but
yeah.
they're just like a level above.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
a level,
absolutely.
and then another
And
level.
then
And another level, yeah.
A couple of
yeah.
levels up.
And like I was saying to my, because I just always did it online. My friends were like, "Why didn't you go to the store and get the whole experience?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I should have done that. Got a glass of champagne."
Well.
But then I do think that feels really like, oh, I'm not that bothered. They're only size. Like it feels like I'm quite cool to not be like, I'm not going to go to a store.
You didn't need to walk
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
with your
like this is
orange bag.
normal for me. Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't even post on Instagram. Look how cool I am.
Wow.
Your stealth wealth. I love this for you. So cool.
Are you going on holiday so that you can wear them soon?
Yeah. I'm going away next month. Actually, speaking, because I'm going to Nigeria, and speaking of that, I really want to talk about Nigerian fashion brands. I don't know how into them you guys are. So there's a brand called Hatunda, right? And it's got this dress and a top as well. It's like a face.
I've seen it.
Oh.
No, I've seen it. There's an
Don't you love
influencer called
it?
Claudia Lee
Yeah.
who is sick. She owns that store that made the fish bags.
Oh, yes,
the
yeah,
metal
yeah.
fish
Oh,
bags.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a really big
cool.
thing in the summer. And she posted it, and it was like a halter neck version. It's
they
got like
gorgeous?
the
Yeah, they're
eyes
like-
and the lips, and it's so cool.
It is so cool, and they do the most amazing pieces. And honestly, a lot of Nigerian brands are so amazing. There's like Vendor, there is like Hatunda, there is so many of them that just do like statement pieces. Because that's what I realized when I go to Nigeria. We actually just really boring here.
Very
Like we
much so.
don't, but they play with shapes. They do like, and I'm like, I'm obsessed with women who play with shapes.
Yeah.
Because I realized I started to dress better when I stopped trying to look skinny.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's such a point,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, stop trying to like.
When I
slim
stopped trying to be
yourself
like, I need to
down.
look slim, and
Yeah,
when I
or,
was just
like,
like, just wear a
flattering.
shape.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I always say this word flattering.
So
basically,
loaded,
that just
isn't it?
means
It's awful. Yeah, basically.
It means like how, all
basically.
the, how do you make yourself look smaller? in some
Exactly,
capacity. And,
yeah.
like, we don't need to.
We
wear
actually
that.
don't. Because I used to be so cautious of like wearing something that was like had a shape. Because I was like, oh, my hips look bigger. Or the but I was like, actually, that's okay.
Yeah, empowering.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I tell you about the ASOS order that I
Please
have
do.
today?
I
So
love ASOS.
one of the best parts about working here is I see all the content obviously before
Yeah.
it goes live, so I can shop it before it goes live. So I was sent an approval for an ASOS piece of content that we've done on denim at ASOS that was running this week, but I got it on Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, the jeans are amazing. So many cool,
Really?
so many cool jeans. And so I bought a pair that wasn't actually in the edit. The pair was in the edit, but I bought them in like a brownie pink.
Ooh.
Which just looks a bit different. As you say,
different.
we're so boring here. She says sat here and but you know, it's quite easy, especially at this point in the year when everything's like we're not quite in spring yet,
dull and-
obviously.
yeah.
But so I bought those. I thought that would maybe be a bit kind of a spring transition.
Nice.
They're a kind of slightly oversized, high waist, like boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then also Topshop had a really good jumper that was a pretty good dupe of the Dries Van Noten sweatshirt, which is like oversized, obviously, and has a ruched hemline and ruched sleeves. So it's this kind of elevated sweatshirt,
Cool.
which like I'm into for work. You know,
Yeah.
that with a pair of
Yeah.
heels and some tailored trousers,
Yeah.
like stealth comfort.
Yeah.
And then also a really oversized long sleeve white t-shirt from Arrange.
I was gonna
And it's
love
literally was gonna be my
those.
question. How do you guys feel about the Arrange range?
I love
I
it.
love it.
Obsessed.
It is
Obsessed.
so good. Whoever
so
the
good.
shop or the designer is for that,
Yeah.
It's so good,
well
isn't
done.
it?
It's so good.
They're designing it in-house. We went behind the scenes at the offices to take a look at how they design it, and it's so good.
I think ASOS and H&M are the two brands that I've been committed to my whole life.
There you go. That's something you haven't changed since you were 12.
Yeah, literally, genuinely. Because I
Yeah.
used to work in H&M when I was a teenager as well. So like H&M and ASOS, I will always have things in there.
Girls, we're going to move on and talk about celebrity.
Wow.
Can I start by talking about Benito Bowl?
I think you
Because
can.
just the joy that was
so good.
Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl this year. Just what a joyous
It was
performance.
so good.
It was so happy.
I feel so lucky because that was my introduction to Bad Bunny. Obviously, I've like heard of him, but
Yeah,
I'd never
same,
really paid that
actually.
much attention, if
Yeah.
I'm honest. And then that was my first time, and I was like, "This is a great meet cute.
Yeah.
This is such a
Like,
good
we
meet
are
cute.
vibing.
I love you."
I saw a TikTok of a guy being like, this is like, you know, POV, this is everyone at the Super Bowl, and it was Bad Bunny on screen, and he was like some white dude being like, I don't even know who this is. Like, I don't even speak Spanish. Like, I don't really understand what he's saying. And just like you cannot help but move your hips to that. I loved all of the symbolism that came from it. Obviously, he's Puerto Rican, and there were kind of huge references to that throughout the grass fields, the little sets and stages were incredible. Kind
Yeah,
of
it was
people
incredible,
playing
wasn't it?
games
Yeah.
and kind of representing different areas of Puerto Rican life. And I loved he wore Zara. And did you see that he sent everybody who worked on the Zara costume and what he wore a version of it as well?
Oh,
which is
did
really
you?
cool.
Do you know what really irked me though? They didn't cut the blazer bit at the back.
I know, I saw this too. I thought Lou, our fashion
hates
director,
Oh, just
sorry,
cut
the vent at the back was still closed.
Oh, just little.
I just love being alive in the era of the internet because
Yeah.
the thing that went super viral was the fact that if you haven't seen it, they transformed the entire pitch into this like incredible high grass maze.
Yeah.
And the way they did it was by having humans dress up as the
Oh,
grass
yeah.
because obviously that was the quickest way to run on stage, and the memes
Yeah.
the
So
behind the scenes
good.
of people being
So
like, I was a blade of
good.
grass.
Do you know what it
was
felt like?
good.
It felt like when you go watch your like a kid or a niece or something in a school play, you're like, you're grass.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm
to
young
number
girl.
Literally
off,
what
like,
it is.
I'm grass number
I'm
three.
grass number 4.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was
At
so
first
good.
I was like, wait, there's actually no, give people jobs.
Yeah, man.
You know what?
Employment.
Yeah, employment
Happy
is
days.
great,
Happy
actually.
days.
Yeah, that would go on my CV if I was grass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Bad
performed.
Bunny
I saw that in my
grass.
Instagram bio.
That's literally what it would be. Like, I would be like, performed at the Super Bowl. You don't need to know how.
We don't need to
I
know
might have been Bad
details.
Bunny, I might have been grass.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Am I Lady Gaga? I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was so joyous.
Gaga
and
looked amazing.
It was.
Gaga did look
She looked
amazing.
so good.
But I have
Did.
subsequently seen a version of when Sharpay and Ryan sing "Bop Bop Bop Bop" to the top in High School Musical,
Yeah.
and she is wearing like an almost identical outfit and moving almost quite similarly, which is unfortunate.
Can't
it's funny.
unsee, but
Can't
still
unsee
funny.
it.
Yeah.
And you know the couple that got married on stage were a real couple.
Yes,
a real
so I
wedding.
heard.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's also what America and the world needs so desperately.
Totally.
Right.
So desperately right now. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was mine. Speaking of
Okay.
hard launch
Yes, I love
at the Super Bowl for the couple of the moment.
Yes.
Boy from Stevenage is dating Kim Kardashian.
I mean, that's
The boy
one
from
way to put it.
Stevenage
He's
is
done
Lewis
all right.
Hamilton. Like,
Yeah.
he's not like a little boy from Stevenage.
Not a random, is
but
he?
I
He's
done
like
okay.
the headline of Boy from Stevenage
Yeah.
is dating Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, okay. I like that too.
So we had had, was it last week?
It was
that they
last
would like done like a hidden hotel getaway.
Yeah.
They were at Estelle Manor in the
They were
Cotswolds.
what?
Yeah, didn't you see this?
I didn't see that
Yeah,
bit.
so like, they were
Whoa.
photographed like secretly like having this little meet up.
That's mental. Love that. Can't
And
believe
then
Kim
so I was
there.
like, oh, they'll keep it hidden for a little while longer. And then the week after at the Super Bowl, they had a little kiss.
cute.
No, also AI.
What is going on in the rest of the world? Are you joking?
They were there. The kiss is AI. The world is awful, and one has to be very, very. Yeah, I
Be
know.
so
I know.
careful about what you
terrible.
But they were at the Super Bowl
But they were there
together.
But they were there together, but we didn't see them kiss.
We didn't see them kiss.
But they looked cute. Maybe
I
he's the
don't, I'm
one.
not.
don't see it.
I don't.
How
see
old is
it.
he?
No idea,
I
actually.
think he's younger than her, but I do think he like dates up. 'Cause-
Yeah,
and
Nicole
Nicole was a
Scherzinger.
bit older than him as
Yeah, I
well.
was
So
gonna
I
say, that
do
was
think
his
I
only
quite
other
like
ex I know
men
about.
who date. That's the only person I've ever known him to date.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's quite quiet.
He's quite
And then
quiet.
people get really angry
Yeah.
when we talk about the Kardashians. People
Okay.
get really like, why are you talking about these people again?
We
But, like,
don't care.
I honestly, no, but I like. I find it fascinating that people don't find the Kardashians fascinating, even just from like an academic perspective. Like,
Yeah.
this is not about being a mad fan or promoting.
No, I don't really watch it at
No,
all.
I
but
just
I'm
think she's
interested because-
fascinating.
So there's someone I follow called Christina. She has a podcast called Pop Syllabus, and she is amazing at doing a really deep dive into celebrity culture in a way that is so smart that you can't just see it as frivolous. She breaks down the Kardashian quite a lot, and it is annoying, and we don't want to admit it, but they do change popular
Yeah,
culture.
they
Yes,
do.
They do, and they have done for
And
for
pretending they
years.
don't is foolish.
Exactly. Like, and let's all be honest. And like, it's really interesting seeing Kim go back to her default setting of dating black men again, because she kind of stopped for a while,
Yeah, she did.
and then went really thin, but now she's put on her body again.
Oh my
and
God,
now
you're so right.
that's literally what she does, and it's really, really fascinating to watch how they maneuver. And it's annoying, but they do change popular culture.
Yeah, they totally do.
Totally.
And you can like it or lump
Yeah,
it, but they are that.
But it
influential.
is actually true, and I do think people who dismiss popular culture are a bit like, I'm like, oh, you're not like, stop it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
stop
super
it.
reductive.
Yeah.
Like
stop
the people who
it.
come and like, who? It's like, just because you don't know who they are does not mean they are not.
That they're
anyone,
not known,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
I listen quite religiously to the Rest is Entertainment podcast, which is hosted by Richard Osman and Marina Hyde.
Yes.
And she is like, well, both of them, they are so smart. And I love that like nothing is too trivial for them, because it's like, I just think if you're
not
interested
trivial.
in the world
Yeah.
and I don't know, everything that's going on in the zeitgeist, then entertainment and pop culture is a
Comes into it,
massive
Yeah,
fan.
it does. Yeah. So
Can
wait,
I
how do you feel about them as a couple? Do we?
Oh, not for me.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cute.
I do think if you're her, and actually if you're him, you have to like, the pool is narrow of people who are in your,
Yeah, in your
who are going to
sphere.
relate.
It must be frustrating being that famous, because after a while you just have to go date an oil tycoon.
Yeah,
because
that's
once
what-
you've dated
That
all
sounds
of
so
it,
frustrating.
Violin.
find like an oil tycoon today.
But actually, a lot of
boo.
them do that. They
Yeah,
go
but
off
that's what
and
they do.
just-
Yeah, eventually after they dated all of like their
Yeah.
like peers, it's like, oh, businessmen.
Yeah.
Tech guys.
I especially think if you're a woman, like I've got quite a few friends in our industry who have said to me before, well, women and gay men who
Yeah.
have said to me before that they find that obviously, like, you know, there are a lot of freebies and kind of perks that come with working in this world. and that they found that they've started dating men, and at first these men have kind of loved, and these have been like separate anecdotes.
Yeah.
Men have loved it and then ultimately become quite threatened by it and don't like it. So imagine if you're Kim Kardashian, like you have to, you know, you can't date the average person unless that person is so secure.
And no man is that secure.
Can I segue really nicely to talk about heated rivalry?
Matter of time.
I feel like this has become like a joke in the office, but if you're not on this side of TikTok, maybe one doesn't know kind of the cultural impact that this show has had. And it's not just the show, it's the actors in it. But these guys and this show have like genuinely, speaking of zeitgeist and popular culture, like completely changed the conversation and opened up like a new era of something. And that is, you know, again, I was listening to them talk about it on The Rest of Entertainment this morning. They were talking about how fantasy and female fantasy in particular, like the idea of sex through the female gaze has kind of become more a part of popular culture in recent times because everyone's just sick of men dictating kind of what sex should look like on screen and so, or in books. And so there's obviously that. But I think what the fan, like the hardcore fandom that has emerged from this show has been about is these two young actors who are both 24 turning 25 this month. I'm that obsessed. And they've done so much press. So like there are, you know, are endless clips of these boys on the internet. And they are the absolute opposite of toxic masculinity. They are so secure that sexualities aren't fully defined out into the public realm, so we won't speculate. But one guy, Hudson Williams, who plays Shane in the show, it definitely has a girlfriend, and the level of comfort with which they talk about the sex in the show, the love in the show, because, you know, for people who think it's just about gay sex, like it's really not. Although I've learned a lot, like a lot, which is also a really good thing as well. I think, like, you know, I was out with a bunch of gay friends, gay male friends last week, and we were having conversations and I was able to ask questions that I never would have spoken about before because I didn't know and it kind of wasn't on the table. And the comfort and ease with which these guys talk about topics, and it might be anything from like their favorite movie directors through to the way they emotionally inhabit a scene to portraying sexuality on screen, all of these things that are kind of typically topics that men aren't necessarily hypersensitive around, they are incredible on and say all the right things. So I think that the reason that the world has just like completely fallen in love with them is not only their incredible chemistry, but the way in which they are talking in a very, very modern way.
And I think you can't underestimate the power that has and the effect that has on like future generations of men who, while we all say like, oh, it's fine for men to cry, I still feel like there is a massive like sort of pressure on men to not be emotional, to be strong and stiff upper lip, whatever. But like if they sort of show that you can as a man talk about lots of different things and it's not like weird or strange and you're still masculine and whatever, like that I think could be really like have a massive impact on like boys growing up and thinking it's okay to talk about things like that.
They are so comfortable in their own skin and they're also, I know this shouldn't matter, but like they look kind of stereotypical, but then what comes out of their mouth is so much more progressive than that, and that's really important. You must watch it.
I will. Do you know what, when you were saying that, I love when Teddy does that. I just finished watching We Might Regret This. And it's about, the lead is in a wheelchair and it's quite sexual. There's show scenes and it's first I was like, oh my God, I didn't realise it would work like that. Like it was so, I'm like, yeah, because I've never seen this on television before.
This is it. Right. Spot on. I'd like to think that the kind of sex education that has come out of Heated Rivalry isn't just from a place of like, it's a genuine fascination. And exactly as you say, you haven't seen this before.
It's such a privilege, isn't it, to grow up straight and see straight sex on TV all the film and see that represented.
Absolutely,
There we go. Glad we're all in agreement. So anyway, watch it if you haven't, but also then just like get to know the actors because these guys are going to be superstars. Connor Story, who plays Ilya in it, is hosting SNL in a couple of weeks.
Amazing.
Like they have absolutely skyrocketed. Time to talk about our hot topic. What has been on your mind lately? Polly, queuing in shops.
Right. Okay. So I want your opinion on this because I won't name the store, but I was in New York this weekend and we decided we wanted to go somewhere for my husband to try on a jacket. And upon arrival, it wasn't busy in there, I don't think. And your first impression is someone saying to you, we just need you to queue. We're at capacity.
I hate it.
And it's like, even if it's for 5 minutes, this was not this was a luxury store. And I just don't think that is the experience you should have as a customer at this like premium brand. I think it takes the piss, frankly.
I hate it.
It made me not want to spend money there because I was just like, yeah, well, no, I don't want a queue.
I think it's their way of trying to be like exclusivity. Like, you know how you get in
Which
clubs to be
riles
like,
me
where
up.
you're going to, because you go in there and there's like, there's 3 people in here.
Yeah.
So
And, like,
why was I waiting outside?
if you're worried about theft, fine. But the guy at the front who's telling me to queue can be your security guard.
Exactly.
Right? And also, like, it's coats. I don't think anyone's going to, like, get away
They've
with,
got
like,
so much
running out
alarms
with
on
their
there,
coat.
you're not going to be able to
I don't
steal.
even think it's that, though. You're right. I think
Yeah.
it's, like, an exclusivity thing. And it just winds me up.
I think it's something that luxury brands are doing, have done more and more in different ways. It's like how certain brands have put a restriction on the amount of handbags you can buy.
Yeah.
They are trying as much as possible to give the air of exclusivity whilst actually taking away from the customer experience, which makes, as you say, it really turns you
Like,
off.
alienates your customer.
totally
right?
Exactly.
alienates. I
'Cause
think
if you're going to do it, just make an appointment only then. If you're going to make me queue, just say appointment
agree.
only. Okay, cool.
I
fine.
agree. I think the problem is there are so many people who are prepared to do it. We all need to like take a collective customer stand,
Yes.
and say that we're not prepared to queue.
Yeah.
Because I know my experience when I've done that a couple of times is you've gone into the store and the reason they've made you queue is because they want each person to have their own salesperson, to have their own
Okay.
SA to kind of take them around. But again, sometimes you just want to, my dad wanted a spritz of a Louis Vuitton fragrance when we were away last summer. We don't need a sales assistant for that. We don't need 15 handbags.
No.
We
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
spritz
Go
the
and have a go.
fragrance,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah.
So I do think there is a level on which like
don't
maybe there's a
need-
helpful approach, but you don't need.
Yeah, like take
Yeah.
a pragmatic, like common sense view on it, right?
I agree. I think they're really shooting themselves in the foot. I was out with my mum. This is a while ago, but we were walking down Bond Street and we walked into a shop that we tried to walk into a shop where we were fully prepared to buy something from, and they said, "Sorry, can you just wait a minute?" And we actually
Like,
said,
no.
No, actually, I
screw you."
can't.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
genuinely
yeah,
wouldn't have
exactly.
spent money in there that day.
Because they act like they're doing you a favour.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I'm
it's
the
like,
one spending
that's
money.
not the right way around at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just go to another store where I don't have to queue and I'm treated like,
Yeah.
a valued customer.
Yeah.
I feel like a bit of a Karen saying this, but
No,
I
no,
just
no,
think
I'm really with you.
It's
I
really
agree.
annoying.
Yeah, and I hate that even people feel like they have to be like dressed up to go to these stores. It's a shop.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
all be for real.
Yeah.
It is a shop.
It's giving Pretty Woman.
yeah.
Big mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tolly, what is your hot topic?
Okay, so I do a podcast, right? And we get loads of like dilemmas and issues. And honestly, every single week we've had issues about adult friendships. It's like women have got to their 30s and are kind of like, I either don't have any friends or like I'm having issues with my friends, or me and my friends are like at completely different stages in our life and it's making us like go not as close anymore. And it feels like nobody knows how to like maintain adult friendships anymore. And I'm just like, in a world that I think everyone's already so lonely, something's got to give. Like, how do we work it out so we're not like, and I'm like a big believer of like giving your friends grace, but when is it that you should expect things from them? When should you give them grace? How into your friends' kids should you be into? Like, what are the rules to be a good friend when you're a bit older?
Those are all great questions.
Yeah.
Do you have the answers?
No.
I think so. Like I read an article a while ago. Actually, I think it was by Paula Bell, and she talked about something similar that you end up in this rut of meeting up with friends for like dinner, and all you do in that time is just like catch them up on what you've been doing, but you're not making any new memories with that person. And what needs to change is that you make a plan to make new memories with your friends rather than just like going for a drink and like catching up for like 2 hours and then going home.
And all your conversations like, oh my gosh, remember when we went this? Remember when we did this? It's like, okay, can we make new memories and stop remembering when we went to a club at 21?
Although they're good times. Good times.
Like great times, but like we need to update them. Like, okay, you see your friends and you're still talking about, remember when we did this in 2012? Surely we can talk about what we did this last year.
So true.
Yeah,
So
like
true.
it's so consistently just remember when.
You are so good at that with your girlfriends. I feel like you do experiential things.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
are
good.
quite good, and it's great. And like sometimes we do really random stuff. Like
What
I
do you
come
do?
in, like I said to Charlotte, well, I go, oh, we went to a little pig farm in Kew, and you're like,
cute.
that is so weird. But I'm like, it was funny, like because it was so random, and like rather than buying each other like physical gifts, we like take each other somewhere or like do a random activity. And like I guess it depends on your friendship group.
Yeah.
But I do think it like makes our group quite tight.
You also what is the frequency with which you do a night away? Because that's also something you prioritize.
We do like a like once a quarter weekend away.
That's so
that's amazing.
good.
Which is like, doesn't always end up being like that's our aim.
Yeah.
And we generally keep to it. And like obviously like one of my best friends in the group has just had a baby, so we're adjusting like our Q1 want to be like in London because then she can just like come and dip in as much. But like blocking out a weekend where you as a group just do stuff together, book an activity. I don't know, even if it's just getting a bit drunk together, but like these are like experiences, I think, and you're not just catching up for 2 hours. You know, it's so hard, I guess, like, you know, your friends live all over the world and stuff, so it's a bit harder. But like, I also do feel like you and your friends are good when you're all together, 100%. Like meeting up.
I think the problem is that like we are like brought up to be more focused on partnership than we are on community. I think your whole life is you grew up, you're going to meet your person. Like nobody focuses on community that you build around you. And I think that's just kind of like screwed us all, because once everybody is partnered, it's like, well, I've done it in like, I've ticked it, I've done it. Like I've done it now, I don't need my friends. So you plan holidays with your partner, you plan nights out with your partner, where it's just like, hey, like dip into your community as well. And I think when I go, as I see it a lot when I go to like Africa and I go to Nigeria, it's really community based. And it's like, of course, like partnership is important, but everybody hangs out together. And it's not just these isolated, just moving with your partner and that's it for everyone else. So I think that's what it needs to be. We just need to be more community focused than and okay, it's hard now because like like seeing your friends now means like you have to spend money on dinner. Like there's no like free spaces. Like you have to like, do you know what I mean? Everything is like costly, or like, hey, you're moving houses, but there's a company you can call. Whereas before, call your friends and they'll help you. Like, do you know what I mean? Everything is kind of made for us to be like individuals. And I just think it's not really working out for people. I promise you, every week someone's like, I'm lonely, I don't have any friends, I don't know what to do. And it's like women who are established, like they, on a scene of it, they have got friends. Like they like, but they just still feel incredibly lonely. And I think loneliness is a feeling that everyone feels above. Like they feel like I can't talk about that because that feels a bit lame. They feel like I'm above.
Like,
it's exactly. It's like my life is not tragic. Yes, so many people are going through it.
I think that's so wise. I think, would either of you ever give a lift to an airport to a friend?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not sure I would. And
Really?
but I was going to talk about the cultural differences. I was telling an American friend this the other day, and they were like, "Oh my god, like of course."
Of course I would.
I think that's a very British thing to give lift to the airport. Do you?
I offer. Oh, I'll go and pick you up. Like, oh, what time do you land? I'll come pick you up.
If someone asked me, I'd do it.
If somebody asked me, of course, but I wouldn't just be like, "Oh, cool, you're getting in at this time." Like,
I've never called a Uber or anything to an airport.
Wow.
Like my sister would get me, or my friends would pick me up, or someone would always get me.
So nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. The amount of money I've spent on taxis over the years.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay.
Right, leaning on your community, I think, is not something that we've got worse at that in this country.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly.
We're going to end with some dilemmas.
Yay!
Someone has said, if both partners work full time, what is the fairest way to split money and mental load at home?
Oh, that's
age old.
That's so loaded.
So loaded.
Because then do we look at who earns more?
Yeah, I think money-wise...
I think it's who works harder.
Do you?
Yeah, go on.
I think money-wise, you take a view on who is earning more. I think it's not necessarily fair to ask everyone to go like 50-50 if one of you is earning a lot less than the other one. And if you really truly see it as a partnership, like... each other's money is each other's money. The mental mental load, I don't know. That is hard because ultimately, like, not to generalize, but I do think it does fall to talking of straight relationships here. Obviously, the woman, that kind of, I don't know, maybe women just, it's ingrained for us to see it more as our role, or perhaps men don't sort of see the things that need doing as much. But I think if you're both working really hard, you should split those 50-50, right?
But also, who's to say whose job is the hardest? So my job could be I'm just sat at a computer all day, but like yours is like more labour intensive. That doesn't mean you're working harder than me. So there's no way to tell.
You and Ben both have very busy jobs. How do you split that?
I'm really lucky that first of all, we've been together 16 years. Like we've never had a working life without each other. So I do think therefore that has evolved as we've been together. So I want to ask you in a minute, because you're the opposite in that you came together as adults. We have jobs that have fallen very naturally into our kind of skill set and interest. He's very, very anal about cleanliness and the house and stuff, which works so well because like I've never bought a dishwasher tablet. I don't even know what ones we buy. I don't worry about bin day. That's him, and that's because he actually cares. It's not because I've had to say that. But also, would we ever go to an event with a present if it wasn't for me? Would we? There are totally jobs. I pay the car insurance. Things that have just like naturally. Yeah, weirdly the car on me. Who gets the MOT? It's not him. So petrol, car cleaning, all that. So it's not about like blue jobs and pink jobs and any stereotype. But I think we have fallen into those. So I think you're really unlucky if you've got a guy who won't do any of that, and maybe you should reevaluate
that whole situation.
Yeah. As far as money is concerned, I think this is so personal. We talk about this all the time. Our money is completely separate. Like we get paid into separate accounts. Our like kind of life savings are all that's sort of planned all together.
Where do your bills come out of?
Our own respective accounts.
Interesting.
For different things.
How did you decide that, like, I don't know, the gas bill is yours, this bill's mine?
So it started with when we were much younger, Ben massively out-earned me. And so it started, like, I think he had like the majority and there were like maybe a few small things. And then we have shifted as my earnings have increased and that gap has become smaller. So there have been years where, I'll get a pay rise, so I take on the cost of the cleaner and that is genuinely how it has just kind of adjusted. But it's entirely separate, which I know. Look, that's why I think everybody's is.
It is really personal, and I do think it's a case of like leaning on each other's strengths in terms of the the mental load, because it's like someone can be really good at this thing, so that's what they cover. But then also as their partner, you need to find something else you're good at, buddy. Like you can't just be like, she's organised, she does it all. No, you find a skill set as well, sir. You show up as well. I do think that's really important, and depending on how you're raised, because I always jokingly say I was kind of like weird to be a wife. Like, that's just how my mum brought me up, and that's what she, and before I spoke, my mum was like, actually, she only knew what she knew. So that's how she was brought up, that's how I was brought up, sort of thing. So I like quite quickly take on the like, oh, I'll do the food shop, I'll cook, I'll do this. But also it's like, I don't enjoy cooking, nor do I enjoy cleaning.
Because when that's the slicing of the
outside
tiny...
of slicing, which is why I have to do that, because I don't, like, I can do it, I know how to do it, but I do think it's like, because I had to do it so much at home, and literally, like, I mean, I was in a household of like, we're all girls, but we had like guy cousins, and we had like cousins, and my mum will be like, the girls come to the kitchen to watch her cook, and the boys will be sat down playing. So I do think it's like anger from that. That now I'm like
rebellion.
And I'm like, no, I refuse. I refuse to cook. Like because I'm just like, why do I have to do it? Like my mum, I have a cleaner. My mum thinks I am the laziest. She's like, why do you have a cleaner, sort of thing? And so, but as soon as I'm in a relationship, I just go to it. Like all the things that I'm like, oh, bum, that default cooking, cleaning.
But you're very aware of it.
Yes,
that's
I am.
a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a
and
good
sometimes I'm
point.
not doing it.
Sometimes
I'll see, I'm like, oh, picking it up. No. Like, no.
How have you and Harry handled it? Because you, as I say, you met in your 30s. So
well, I guess like, you know, in terms of like mental load stuff, like we have kind of fallen into our like quite traditional roles. So I take care of like all of the food side of things. Like I do all the cooking. That's not to say he won't like make me a coffee in the morning and stuff, but generally speaking, I sort dinner and things like that, which I'm kind of happy with because I get to decide what we eat every night, and he is happy with whatever I make for him. But separately, he is not lazy. Like he will do some washing. He does, like, he's very handy. If I need a picture hung, he'll do it that the same day. So I'm kind of like at peace with the fact that I do all the cooking because he does so much other stuff. He takes care of a lot of like bills-based things and car.
Car.
I take quite a lot of pride in the fact that the car is my problem.
I know
I'm like,
nothing about my car.
Like
when the emojis come up, I'm like, whoa.
I saw somebody say, I found, I'm like, what does that mean? Someone was like, I found a way to fix it, and she just put stickers on it. Guys, I put air in my tyres.
Well done, babe.
I do. I get on the floor and I put that air in the
Oh
tyres.
my God. So for years, I used to get whipped up. Like the mechanic used to love me coming in because anytime it's had low tyre pressure, I used to buy new tyres.
No.
And the mechanic would let me every single
cost
time.
£1.
I know. And I remember saying this to this guy and he was like, you do what? Like his face looked like drained. Literally, he was like, and he lets you buy it. I'm like, yeah. He was like, you know, he just sells your old tyres.
Oh,
yeah. And no idea.
That is none of my business.
I have learned how to do it now, though. I have learned how to do it. I'll go to a little Sainsbury's and that be there.
Go, girl.
I have learned that.
Okay, so in summary, what is the fairest? I think the summary is that there isn't one. There's no
there
one
isn't
size
a set
fits all.
way. Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
But whatever
right?
feels fair in your
and whatever you're willing to take on. If you're like, okay, I'm happy to do this because you do this, then that's fine. Yeah. I do think sometimes women feel like ashamed at like to say that their partner pays the bills and they do the house. Whatever works for you, like it's fine. Yeah.
I agree. All right, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you both. This was fun.
This was fun.
You were very good. You should do this more often.
I should.
Yeah. It's like you do this podcast.
Tolly, give us a hard plug for your podcast. What's it called and how do we find you?
Okay, so I am Tolly and I host a podcast called The Receipts Podcast. It comes out every single Wednesday. I host it with Audrey. And yeah, you can find it everywhere. It's like love, dilemmas, relationship. We get such good dilemmas.
Oh.
People are doing something. Oh my God.
Fascinating. Will you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, that's where you can find me.
Amazing.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thanks both. Love seeing you. Thank you as well for listening or for watching. Please do subscribe. It really does help us out. Don't forget to like the video and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.